Howdy y'all, welcome to Adventures with Kendall. Today's adventure is going to be a fun safari at the Fresno Chaffee Zoo, where we'll learn about the fascinating animals around the world in this wonderful institution in the Central Valley. So let's get going and go see the Fresno Chaffee Zoo. Welcome to Fresno Chaffee Zoo. Let's go inside. The story of the Fresno Chaffee Zoo begins with the creation of Roding Park. This 148-acre park was designed in 1903 by Johannes Reimers for the city of Fresno. Frederick and Marianne Roding donated the land on which the park was developed, and their son, local nursery owner and agriculturist George C. Roding, directed the park's development into an informal arboretum. While the zoo was initially a collection of unwanted pets housed in makeshift cages, the American Association of Zoological Parks and Aquariums officially recognized that the Roding Park Zoo opened in 1929. In the 1930s, the zoo continued to grow in a rather haphazard manner as more animals were added to the collection. By 1947, the Roding Park Zoo had grown considerably with new species of exotic animals. In 1949, Nosy the elephant was purchased with the help of the Fresno Rotary Club and donations from thousands of school children. A Name the Elephant contest was held in anticipation of the new arrival. Thousands of school children sent in their pennies, nickels, and dimes. On September 11, 1949, a colorful 49ers Days rodeo parade was completely dominated by the young elephant named Nosy. In the 1950s, exhibits for the sea lion, camel, sun bear, hippopotamus, giraffe, assorted birds, and the flamingos were completed. In 1957, the Roding Park Zoo became an institutional member of the American Association of Zoological Parks and Aquariums. Soon, the Fresno Zoo was a popular attraction within the city of Fresno, along with Playland and Storyland. In 1965, Dr. Paul Chaffee was hired as the first director of the Roding Park Zoo. Throughout the late 60s, 70s, and 80s, the zoo went through many changes and expansions. In 1985, the name of Roding Park Zoo was officially changed to the Fresno Zoo. In 1990, the Fresno Zoo was renamed the Chaffee Zoological Gardens of Fresno in honor of its longtime director, Dr. Paul S. Chaffee, who passed away that year. In 1990, the new zoo entrance was constructed on the west side, across the street from Rotary Playland and Storyland. Today, the Fresno Chaffee Zoo is one of the most popular attractions within the Central Valley. Speaking of which, now let's head inside and enjoy our day at the Fresno Chaffee Zoo. It's going to be a long walk through the zoo, so let's get going and check out the Fresno Chaffee Zoo. Here's the first stop of our journey, the Wolf Woods. Here, visitors will see the endangered red wolf. These wolves originally occupied eastern North America, from the Gulf Coast into southern Ontario. Extinct in the wild in 1980, the red wolves are now part of a captive breeding and release program. Our next stop is going to be the Reptile House. In the Reptile House, visitors are introduced to a diversity of reptiles with more than 40 species of snakes, turtles, and lizards. Some examples include the green tree python, the Komodo dragon, the king cobra snake, and the poison dart frog. And outside of the reptile house is the home of the Galapagos tortoise. Quite lovely, isn't it? Now let's keep going on our journey. Along the way, we'll see animals such as the ring-tailed lemur, another Komodo dragon, the giant anteater, the squirrel monkey, And my personal favorite, the fennec fox. Look at him sleeping in its den. Boy, is that a great place to be at right now. Here's a fun place to check out, the Stingray Bay. Here you can pet either the cownose or southern stingrays, or the nurse and bamboo sharks. Now let's take a look at the Roo Walkabout. Here we'll learn about the animals from the land down under, whether it's emus, wallabies, or kangaroos. Just look at them eat together. Here's our next stop, the tropical rainforest. Here visitors can walk through and see the many birds in this rather beautiful bird paradise. This includes the hyacinths and the blue and gold macaws. This rainforest is fun to explore. Now let's head to the African adventure. As we head to the African part of the zoo, we'll see other fine creatures, such as these flamingos and this rather tired cheetah. So far, our trip to the zoo has been quite fun. Now let's take a short break at the Kape Lodge. Not only is this a great place to eat, the architecture evokes the feeling of being in the savannas of Africa, including this charming marketplace where you get your food. And speaking of the African savannas, here's our next stop. Out here in the savannah, you'll see fine wild animals, such as elephants, rhinos, wildebeests, and of course, giraffes. And speaking of the giraffes, you can have a fun time feeding them. See, this one's taking leaves out of my hands. And judging by the face, it enjoyed my offering. Thank you, Mr. Giraffe. There are other fine things to see here in the savannah area, such as the mighty lion, also known as King of the Beasts, the small and cute meerkat, and everything else in between. You may never know what kind of surprises you'll find around here. Now let's head to a unique location, Jurassic Park. Here in this part of Chaffee Zoo, we'll explore the mighty prehistoric age while learning about the creatures involved, including the Triceratops and the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex. As you can tell by his size and strength, he is called the King of Dinosaurs. Our last stop on our journey is the Sea Lion Cove. Modeled after Point Lobos, California, Sea Lion Cove is one of the most unique and beautiful new sea lion exhibits in the country. After trekking underneath the hot Central Valley sun, Sea Lion Cove is the best place to cool off and also see the beautiful California sea lions and the harbored seal. Boy, I had a great time exploring Fresno Chaffee Zoo. But now, let's head back to our studio. I hope you had a great safari at the Fresno Chaffee Zoo. It was fun seeing all those animals in one place, whether it was the cheetahs, the flamingos, the sharks, the snakes, or the giraffes. But my personal favorite were the fennec foxes. I just love foxes, so seeing one up close was very exciting to me. Anyway, our next adventure will take us down south because we're going to see Hermosa Beach and learn the story of this fabulous city, especially in its place in the history of beach volleyball. But until then, if you have a location for us to go on, comment or email down below. We would love to see your suggestions. And also subscribe and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We would love to see your faces. Now that's all the time we have here on Adventures with Kendall. See you later, folks, and may your gifts bless the world.